Basically, everything has a modification. So when we look at, especially when we look at bench press, dumbbells is just a substitute for the bar. We're gonna actually go later on the road, because we're like later in the semester, we'll come back to the bench press but with a bar, and then the actual shoulder press with a bar, just because those get to be a little bit trickier. So then when we look at, especially Pec Fly, when we look at like doing a single arm Pec Fly, when we look at doing the lateral raise, the other thing we can do is use cables, okay? So the two things to consider here, if I do basically what we call like a cable fly, you can come forward, but then you have to kind of bring the elbows in a little bit, because nobody's gonna sit there and have all of that, and then you might run into the tension there. You can go straight arm, but think about your elbow here, because it's gonna be a little harder to change where your humerus is, okay? A lot of times what's actually easier is if you pull in just a little bit, and so you bend the arm, because then you can align your shoulder blades and pull in front, okay? Same thing, you can do that with one arm, all right? So you can sit there and come across. Just like we talked about with the single arm bench press, the single arm fly on the bench, that's gonna require that you don't rotate. Because as you come in that position, you've got to be able to keep everything here locked in. These are especially nice, so Mod, come back up. We're just gonna blow Mod's text up today, guys. This is great. All right? So when a Mod comes in to do this exercise with cables, it might help because he's gonna put a foot forward just so he can kind of have some stability. Shoulder blades are gonna come back and down. And when he goes, he's gonna think about squeezing his pecs, right? So we talk about that mind-muscle connection. Go ahead, squeeze. Squeeze more, right? This is literally like you're gonna be the best at hugging people. I know you can't really hug a whole lot of people right now because of COVID, right? Go back up, just do 3 more reps. Okay, he stretches it out. He comes back, do 1 more. Good, relax your hand, all right? So all of a sudden the Mod sits there and he can think about that and create a bigger contraction. The other way that you can do this, especially if, let's just say this doesn't change height, this is a fixed position. Maybe a Mod wants to sit there and find a way to challenge his pecs a little bit more without having to step forward. Especially because then here, if he's here and there's somebody else like here, you don't want to run into him. So what a Mod's going to do is he's going to grab those handles, right? Grab the handles. And he's going to stay in position, but he's going to unlock his knees, stick his butt back, and he's going to bend into the hips. So keep going. Hips down, right? Bend the elbows, right? You're literally going to come straight down under you. There. Okay? Good. And relax. Okay? So, we're going to take the handle off because we're going to go to the outside. Okay? So, that's just how you do a Pec Fly on the cable. Then when we look at doing the deltoid, right? So we do that raise. You can do a shoulder press on these, but let's just say you're Josh and your arms are like 8 feet long, right? If I go up to here, I'm a short dude, I'm already halfway up. Imagine Josh doing this. He's gonna be like way above his head, all right? Then you gotta go with the cable rubbing. Now the one thing we can do that's gonna make this a little bit different, let's just say I wanna do that lateral raise that we did while seated. Well, I can do that standing, okay? And same thing, raising out to the side. Notice I bend the elbow a little bit because I'm gonna have to bring it out in front of me. Okay, so if I just bend my elbow, I keep it all in that same position, out. How do I make it even harder? I can get close and I can lean. Because now all of a sudden, now I've created a greater range of motion to raise all the way out and pull back in. Okay? You want to make it even harder, you can take away the actual grip and just loop your hand in. Because now what you have to do is integrate your forearm into that and go out and back. So now you're isolating even more, okay? We're gonna take the remaining like 10 to 15 minutes in class, toy around with it, ask any questions. Those are all the exercises we're gonna go over today. And that way you have some, if you have questions about any of them, we can answer that, and that way we'll kind of wrap up everything for class. Cool? Cool.